Let's get it.
Thank you all for being on the PM version of our MGCI general session. Welcome, welcome. I am your host, Heather Cook, on the Microsoft Customer Advocacy Group team, working with you on this wonderful initiative. And we have our guest, Pat McGowan, on, yay, and Tom Daly from our board. And we've got a bunch of folks here. Emily's on, and we've got Iqbal. We've got a lot of folks from our regional leads too. Thank you for being here, everybody. So really appreciate that. If you want to ask questions, please put them in the chat, raise your hand, all that sort of fun things. If you want to stay on mute, if you're not speaking, that's awesome. So there we go. Digital code of conduct. Just be kind to each other. And these code of conducts are great here for just making sure that we create a welcoming and safe environment for each other. So always be mindful of that when we're in these meetings. This is a nice little slide on the Global Community Initiative. It's a local, regional, global initiative. We want definitely lots of people in here working with us on the mission, which is to help all of you who are either budding event producers or longtime event producers, helping you with amplification, which is today's topic, or production training, blogs, networking, all that goodness, and more for the Microsoft community. So helping all of you figuring out how to do this in your local communities. Today, we're going to do some announcements, subcommittee updates, and then we're going to get right into our topic with Pat, which is going to be awesome. So I will share a little bit around our board officers. You see some of these faces on our meeting here tonight. So thank you all for joining us. We started with 8 and now we have 10. And so we just welcomed Wes and Sharon up as board officers. They were regional leads. So very excited to have them join the board, which is awesome. Yes, good applause. Yes, please. That's great. This session is the third Tuesday of the month. And I was just looking around. Do I have that? We will open up the general session to folks who would like to come be a guest and talk about some aspect of events. So we're going to get that done soon. I'm putting these up now on the Microsoft Tech community so that you can see them there, and we're doing them on LinkedIn and then also Blue Sky to promote them out there in the world. So we've got a couple of announcements. Speaking of Microsoft Tech community, we're going to be moving our home that has been on the community tenant for MGCI for the last 5 years, that started during COVID as an emergency response to having a digital place for event producers and for Microsoft even to house teams and help put on virtual events. But as of June 30th, because of some security regulations that we have to follow for Microsoft, and also I think it's a good change because we are moving into the tech community, which has been longstanding community platform for Microsoft 365. So we actually already have a MGCI community hub there. And that's the link that you can click on if you want to head over there and check it out. Jennifer Mason and Isadora and Sharon and myself, the committee for communications has been putting things up there already. These events today were up there, and we'll have more and more over time. It has discussion functionality, so a forum, so Q&A, blogging, and then also posting events, which is great. So we've got all of that goodness happening over there, and we will have more and more instructions on how to become potentially a blog author, and more interactions over on that area. If you aren't already a Microsoft Tech community member, in order to follow the new community hub, you need to become a member over there. And once you do that, you can follow, and you can also then choose to be notified of any new discussions or blogs and events in the hub itself. So we'll be slowly over time moving resources and other things off of the community tenant and into other spaces. This is being one of them on the tech community. And then also that's what this is going to look like. That's the logo. You can see right here, there's a big arrow at the follow button over there. So you can see I'm logged in at the top as Heather Cook. And then you can click follow. Once you click follow, it'll show unfollow. So you can know you're following, and you'll follow kind of the entire community hub, discussions, blogs, and events. Yep. Is there a question, or is Mel off mute? All right, I'm going to mute. Okay, cool. So over here, MGCI's home on adoption.microsoft.com. That does not change. That's where we talk about the initiative itself, our history. It's where you can find all the advisors, all of the regional leads pictures. You can get more information on our background and all of that. That's staying the same, aka.ms/MGCI. So that will be good and staying right there, not changing at all, which will be terrific. And let's see here. Come on. We've got a couple of big events coming in. The Microsoft flagship events, Microsoft Build was announced coming up in May in Seattle. And there's an AKA link, but it's also build.microsoft.com or ignite.microsoft.com, support.microsoft.com, adoption.microsoft.com. You get the picture of our naming URLs. And then Ignite has been announced as well, and that will be in San Francisco. A bit of a shout out to our subcommittees headed up by our board members. So I was talking about Isadora and Jennifer working on communications. Yay. Sponsorship and sponsors, which is a new subcommittee. Mike, Mark, and Sharon will be working on that, meaning, trying to get sponsors for events is not an easy thing. And there is a methodology and probably some good checklists to do that. So they're going to start tackling that. And putting out some more training and information on how to do those things. So that's going to be awesome. Tech and Tools is Tom Daly. CommunityDays.org is his jam, and he's going to talk about what's going on there very soon. Training, that's like all the different training that is coming through from Sharon and Wes. So there's a schedule that's going to be coming up, and those are going to get scheduled in the Microsoft Tech community very soon. And then we have a new subcommittee, a regional leads set of folks with Tom Rodolfo and Say. And so we're going to go in and work with the community regional leaders to make sure that they're sort of, if there's an event happening in a certain locality, that we're connecting the dots and that they have lots of good things to do. So coming soon. I don't know if Jennifer Izzy is on the call. Yeah, I will take this slide. So basically what's been going on over there is, again, Jennifer's been doing a great job of starting to get resources and blogs up on the new Microsoft Tech space. So we're working on that. After this call, most likely on Thursday, there will be a newsletter sent out through our one of our Orto, our marketing emails. And so following up with this, we're also going to post it on the MTC. So we'll have a newsletter coming out this month. And pretty much if you're interested in working on communications and getting involved in this group, this is what they work on. It's amplification, looking at the strategy of how we amplify and communicate about MGCI itself, but then also putting together how to build communications plans and emails and those sorts of things for actually putting on an event. So it's a twofold subcommittee. So that's really what they do. And if you're interested in that, let us know and we will get you connected with them. Let's see, that leads us into Tom, your Community Days feature update.
Okay, so great. We're rolling out a lot of features this month, and in the past couple of weeks, I've been posting as things are going out under my social stuff on LinkedIn and X and Blue Sky. So some of the things we'll just go through really quickly. I have a couple slides at the end with pictures. So one thing that we've added, we've done some work on the sponsorship application. So if you're accepting sponsors through CommunityDays.org, we have a collection form. We've now made it a two-part form where you can, where the sponsor can just be interested and they'll just put in their name and number and email address, and you can contact them directly after they submit it. And then there's a second part where they can fill out the whole application if they've done it before and they know what they want. So this is based on some feedback from event organizers. We made this a little bit simpler. We've also added sponsorship rotators to the homepage of your event. So showcasing, we're going to try to showcase sponsors more, not just on that sponsor page. So if they are, signed up through Community Days and you approve them through that, you'll see them on the home pages as a rotator. Last month, we rolled out the enhanced user profiles. I'll show you what that looks like in the next slide. With that update, we also did the deep links into sessions. So, I'll just read through and then we can go back because I got a lot of stuff. Thanks. So yes, deep linking into sessions. So you can, if you're doing a session, you can go directly, you can go on the speaker page and go and get your actual link to your session and share that directly. So it'll drive people right into it. Social sharing of events. So we've added all the beautiful social feed sharing icons to the event pages, kind of help with the social sharing aspect of our website, sharing those events to your colleagues. Automated reminders. This is for us internally. So, some of you have, had submitted events and we don't approve them immediately because we got busy, sidetracked, and it might take 3-4 days. So this is going to remind us every day that, hey, there's events in the queue. Go approve them. Go check them out. Right. So we'll be more responsive in that regards. It's not that we weren't. It's just one or two cases where there was maybe a holiday in the U.S. and we kind of lagged a little bit. So this should help us now. We also added an update to the speaker board. So we're now showing the past 365 days speaker criteria. So again, the speaker board showcases events that are on our website, communitydays.org, that have a run events or sessionized key, and they fall into like the free low cost category. It could be anything from a boot camp, doesn't have to be called Community Days, could be called Collab Days, could be called Cloud Summit, could be called whatever, but they have to fall in the bucket of free, free type of events. So and then lastly, we have a March style pack. So when I was down in DC, they gave me a handful of defects and things that they'd like to see fixed. And I fixed them all over the weekend. So those are coming out now as we speak. And so the big thing, what are we working on now? I'm working on subscribing. So what is that? That's like a new personalized newsletter of sorts. So you can subscribe, you can go to the events page, you can set up, I want events only in Germany, all right, and you'll get just events there. Or you can say, I want events just in Europe or the US, and you'll get those events. Or you can customize it however you want, right? You can say, I want events twice a month. I want events on the first of the month, right? So we're thinking through this and we're kind of building it out. It's mostly built out. Just have to kind of test through the scenarios. The next thing is the defects that came in for some of us that have a lot of events that we are now optimizing how the dashboards look. Also, if you're running a run events type of an event, we used to have to wait until the schedule was published before we can populate the speaker and the speaker and the session pages. We now don't have to wait for that. We've kind of changed up our API configuration. So if you are using run events, it will pull in that data as soon as it's available. Couple of these other things, or backend processes. We're still working on this time zone thing. Why is this blocking? Oh no, I lost the screen. Oh, great. Oh, here it comes. Okay. The last big thing is that we kind of ran out of gas on our Azure table storage. I chose that early on as the quick and easy database to get this thing up and running. We now have to move it to, we're probably going to go to Cosmos DB, something a little bit more robust. We need something with filtering and sorting. I mean, it's the simplest thing, but table storage doesn't do sorting. So we need sorting. So that's that. That's going to take a while. That's why it's the only thing there, because it's going to require a lot of focus. So we can move on to the next thing. And now we'll just run through some of the pictures to give you an idea of what I was talking about. All right, so this is the sponsorship rotator. So you can see at the bottom here on the home page, you can go to this event right now. It's the DC event. It was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. You can see, or any upcoming events where they have sponsors, it'll show the sponsors in a rotator at the bottom. Next one. Just going to breeze through these sponsorship form updates. This is what I was talking about the two-part form. So it says now I'd like to learn more. If you click the I want to sponsor link, it shows you I'd like to learn more, I'm ready to sponsor, or go back. And then the first part of this is that you fill in just the basic information just to make the connection. The organizer team, reaches out to the sponsors. They can convert it to a regular sponsorship application and get it listed on the site. Next one there. This is the profile. So again, we're syncing in events. If you speak at events and they're community days type events, I did air quotes there. You didn't see it. But if you're community days type events, the sessionize and run events things will come up into your profile. And you'll also see the events that you organize on your profile as well. Now, there's some magic that happens there. We have to merge all your profiles, like, your community days. We're doing that for most people, but you can always reach out to us on your profile and just submit a request and we'll review your information and get it up to date. Now, again, with the organizing, you have to be an active organizer that on the event. So you could be a co-organizer, organizer, it shows up in the same thing. But if you don't see yourself, first reach out to the primary organizer and make sure that they have co-organizers turned on, like there's visibility, so you can turn them on and turn them off, right? So for some people, in case you have like an assistant that you don't want on the website or somebody that doesn't want to be on the website, right? You can take them off. So check that first. Okay, next up, let's see, we got I think one or two more. This one is just the social feed, just to give you an idea of the buttons there. So they're on all event pages. So feel free to use those buttons. Let me know how they work. If there's something that we can fix, we'd be happy to. But they're starting to change a lot of how they let you click sharing. So this is the best we could do for right now. But I know Facebook's a little bit touchy. And the last thing here, this is our updated speaker board. Speaker board view. So right now what you're seeing when you come to the speaker board is the past 365 days of events. And again, events that are, I feel like I have to say it a lot, but they're only community days events. That's the only thing we can get. We can't go to your sessionize and pull in everything that you have presented at. We can't go to your run events and pull in all that stuff. We're not allowed. Like, we can't do that. So we're only pulling in the sessionize, the events on community days. So, and again, it says this, there's information at the top. If you're new to the speaker board and you want to read some more, there's a little little pink link at the very top. Where does this come from? Not in right in the middle of the page. Yeah. So right above our stats. So, again, we have some community contributors that are outstanding, that are killing it. And these are our volunteers for the month. We changes up every month. If you do a volunteer, you're on there for like 90 days. So we have a lot of people that constantly help out, like our team. So Russ, he always helps out with QA. Mike's doing approval. Jason and Manpreet are always giving, and Shari are always giving feedback. Jamie Willis and Pat's always promoting us and helping us out. Jamie Willis has given us tons of feedback for his event. And Daniel Glenn was the one that gave me the suggestion on the sponsorship form. So all it takes is just reach out, and you can either contribute if there's opportunity to contribute, or just give us feedback. That's all. Yeah. Thanks everybody for helping out this month. It's really, we got a lot accomplished.
Tom, yay. And everybody, thank you so much. This is so great. And in the chat, Emily, thank you for helping with the links. That is amazing. So if anybody wants to sign up to be a part of the Tech and Test team, there is a link right there that says join the CDO Tech and Test team. So you can fill that form out and it goes right to Tom. So bring in. So thank you. That's awesome. So this is the event organizer training and office hours. And so the idea is, the first part of this is some sort of training about a different topic, which you can see all the topics right there. I know that they are looking for speakers to help with this as well. And then the other half of it is office hours with Wes, who is a been doing event production alongside all the other things he does for a very long time. So you can definitely check that out with him. We will put these up in the M2C. I'm pushing for us to get our speakers nailed down for April through June so that we can have those up and you can know what's coming, and we'll have all of that stuff up on the M2C shortly. So that'll be great. Lastly, before our wonderful presenter, Pat, I always put this up. We do take feedback seriously on our meetings and the MGCI in general and stuff. So if you have feedback on this meeting, you don't have to do this right this second, but maybe be ready to do it because Pat's going to give a great presentation, of course. And hopefully you've liked what you've seen so far as the updates. So that will be great. And the link will be in the chat here. But I'm going to hand it over to Pat, who's going to take us into amplifying your events. Thank you so much.
Excellent updates. Thank you, Heather and Tom, for all of that information. And so now we want to get into today's main topic of amplifying your events. So obviously a very important part of gaining traction and attendance for your event. So we want to just share some creative strategies to expand on your reach. And I want to, I guess first start by saying, I do help organize events in the Washington, D.C. area. However, I'm by no means an expert when it comes to social media strategy and content, et cetera. So, this is a collection, I think, of, various people's, lessons learned and experiences and ways that we have all found to really be efficient and creative with amplifying our events as we organize them. So, why event amplification matters? The challenge really is that there is limited visibility. A well-planned event doesn't really guarantee visibility or long-term impact. Without amplification, engagement stays limited to attendees, but we really want it to reach a broader audience. So many great insights are shared in the events, but they never really extend beyond the room. Imagine if you host, an incredible AMA session with some expert speakers, and you've got the room filled. However, that engagement never expands beyond that room. So how do we amplify that, right? How do we multiply that reach? The opportunity here is really expanding reach and engagement, right? Amplification boosts attendance, engagement, and long-term value. We want to turn attendees into promoters organically, right? To help expand your event's influence naturally. And the opportunity to use AI tools like Copilot really make content creation easier than ever, right? Make key takeaways last longer through social media, blogs, and more. We'll talk on, creative ways to use Copilot to, turn one piece of content into a bunch of pieces of content. And then we'll talk about, the key takeaway from this is really smart amplification strategies help your event reach more people, right? So it stays relevant longer and it creates a lasting community impact. So when you start planning for your event next year, people already want to sign up for it. They want to register. They want to be a part of the organizing committee or the amplification committee, right? And so these things just happen naturally if you can amplify your event, the right way. Okay, so we'll start by talking about the 3 phases of event amplification. Before, right, we want to generate excitement and attract attendees. During your event, you really want to foster real-time engagement and conversations. And after the event, you want to keep it going and repurpose the content that you've been able to capture during the event. So talking about pre-event amplification, the goal at this phase is to really focus on targeted promotion strategies to ensure maximum attendance of your event. So things like targeted marketing campaigns will help, you can leverage email, social media, paid ads, all to create buzz, right? You can highlight your keynote speakers, agenda highlights, and any unique experiences, which I think we've got one in a later slide that we can briefly mention. But really just highlight those to really start to create this pre-event buzz. Influencer and community engagement, right? So partner with industry influencers, local tech bloggers, other online communities to really help amplify awareness and drive registrations to your event. Do this early and often. And in terms of industry influencers or tech bloggers, right? Their followers are more likely to register and engage as well. Just having that kind of direct connection. exclusive pre-event content, right? So release teaser videos, interviews with speakers, maybe behind the scenes content, around organizing your event that helps build anticipation and encourage thought-provoking discussions. Maybe a short teaser video featuring the keynote speakers can really create buzz for the keynote session in anticipation. That will really just get people, engaged and excited about kicking off this event. Networking and engagement initiatives. So, set up pre-networking event opportunities like online meetups, discussion forums, or if you're using an event app to connect your attendees, do that early, right? If you have local user groups that you can connect with, I know in the DC area here, we've got a number of different user groups, and, you probably, have some where you're located, but use those user groups to amplify your event. Use maybe sign up for a potential session, an upcoming session where there's an open slot where you can talk about your upcoming event, and try to bring that community into your event space. And then press and media outreach, right? So engage with tech journalists, industry publications, local news outlets. This will really ensure strong media coverage, and this really broadens your audience reach. So once the amplification is in motion, how do we generate excitement and community-driven engagement, right? Let's talk about building buzz, the fun stuff. So pre-event buzz is about building that anticipation, right? It's not just about promotion, it's about engaging the community early to make events feel really active before they even start. So things you want to do: define key messaging and themes, the hashtags, set a clear, consistent message that reflects your event's purpose, identify key themes to help guide the conversation and engagement, use a branded hashtag. I know for the DC event, we had M365DC was our hashtag, but also align with industry hashtags to increase your visibility and your reach, right? Don't just stick to your hashtag, but include others that are relevant to what your event's purpose is. Form a social media team. Try to create a dedicated team to post, monitor, and engage with attendees. Make sure that they're responding to comments and they're interacting near real time to keep those conversations active and alive. Engage speakers, influencers, and partners for promotion, right? Give speakers and partners pre-written social posts and graphics to make sharing easy and simple for them. Encourage speakers to share what they're excited about speaking about, and leverage partners and sponsors to expand the event's reach through their channels. Launch teaser content, so share behind the scenes videos, right? Interviews with key speakers, publish blog posts and emails teasing event topics and highlights. And create a schedule countdown, posting across platforms. That's kind of really building up that buzz, whether it's, weekly, ultimately, moving towards daily, or a much closer cadence right before your event gets ready to happen. So a quick tip here, right? Now that we're talking about building anticipation, use Copilot to draft a schedule of content for each promoter, right? So again, I mentioned that I'm by no means like a social media strategist or marketing expert, but I do have Copilot, and we were really able to find creative ways to use it to really help build things like campaigns, et cetera. So a prompt that we really found effective in the planning and promotion of our event was: I'd like to promote an upcoming event on social media that I'm organizing. My primary channels will be, LinkedIn, Blue Sky X, whatever you'd like to include. Please draft a schedule of content specific to each type of promoter that I'd like to share with them for use. My promoters are speakers, influencers, and or partners. Here's a link to the event for more context, right? And share that event link. And it really will create a great amount of content tailored to each one of those promoters that you can just, tailor, to your specific event content a bit more, put your 2 cents on it and share it with your promoters to let them kind of do what they'd like to do with it. So you immediately have that content at your fingertips. So now let's talk about, it's event day, right? So live event engagement. First, you want to activate the social media team for real-time coverage, right? Ensure your social media team is actively posting, monitoring, and engaging throughout the event. Share session highlights, speaker quotes, maybe behind-the-scenes moments in real time. If you can, use live streaming, right? Utilize polls, interactive Q&As. If it's possible, maybe live stream the keynote session or some other, general sessions that are highlighted for the virtual audience that maybe wasn't able to attend in person. Use interactive polls and Q&A features to keep attendees engaged. And then encourage attendee participation through hashtags and contests. So you can do things like, post insights and tag the event using the official hashtag. You can run an engagement contest for maybe like the most creative session takeaway, maybe the most reacted to social media post. And feature attendee posts in real time on social media feeds if you've got a space to do so in your event space. To really help encourage additional sharing, right? Who doesn't love to see their social media posts about an event that they're at live on screen with other people, right? That's just creating more buzz around those things. And finally, this one that's, I personally know I need to do more of, but this very much is, a more emerging and engaged with type of media is leveraging short form videos, right? So Reels, TikToks, LinkedIn stories. Short behind the scenes clips, speaker sound bites, maybe attendee reactions, maybe to the keynote or whatever you may have it. That's a really, that type of content is really at the top of a lot of social media algorithms these days in terms of engagement. So let's talk about some fun stuff at the event. Heather, I'll pass it to you for this slide.
Right on. Thanks for passing me the fun. So yeah. Also, I wanted to address Russ's question: which technique is most effective for pre-event amplification? I really think, I don't know, Pat, for me, it's like I think they're all effective, but it's really depending on your audience, and also being able to measure your results so you see, like sometimes you're going to try something and you're like, oh, well, that didn't go so well, or we didn't get that many clicks, or not that many people liked it, or all of that. But I do think that, I always called it sort of like an octa, you got to get them in many different ways because community shows up in a lot of different ways, right? And it sort of depends on your community. I think we could drill into a little bit more of like which for what, for sure. But I definitely think, like Wes is saying, there's a lot of trial and error involved there. But I do think there's some standard places, in my opinion. LinkedIn is a place for business, right? And so a lot of people go there looking for business type posts and events and that sort of thing. Communitydays.org, of course. And then, depending on how much time you can and work on it, is thinking about, do you want to have your own LinkedIn group? Do you want to have a Facebook group? Do you want to have a Blue Sky handle? Do you like all of those things, right? So you kind of think about also like your local community, where they are already, maybe as well, and trying to tap into that. Maybe they're all in Discord. I don't know. Maybe they're all Twitch people. Maybe they're on Reddit. Like you kind of got to do you have to be a little bit of an investigative reporter, I think, a little bit here too, So
yeah, very much like A/B testing your strategies and see what lands and what doesn't.
Yep, Yep, for sure. Right on. So, anywho, some fun stuff. We created this Community Days Los Angeles logo. That was an AI prompt about make a wave with some film and a cool sunset kind of thing. So that you've got all these tools now that we can use to leverage for that. There's also people who are beautiful graphic designers who do great things as well. Sherry created one. I should have put the Phoenix one up here, the Community Days Phoenix. She created that one, which was super cool. Emily's on, who's one of our regional leads and also is leader for Community Days M365 Miami. And so their logo, which that was painted by an AI robot, which is super cool. So many cool things that you all did at that show. Like I love community. That's a simple sticker. So like make a logo, make some stickers, get some creative with some graphics, that sort of thing. I always say with people, like, make sure you have somebody on your committee that is thinking about social media and graphics. These things can take a moment, to get done. So definitely, but bring the fun, bring some fun to the table with these kinds of things. And people love stickers for their laptops. I was showing, this is one of my old laptops that's peppered, with stickers over the years from all kinds of things. And I think there's Miami is right there with the sparkles, so lots of good stuff coming up from that kind of thing. So yeah, right on. So pass it back to you. Fun stuff. I'm going to go find the Community Days Phoenix logo if I can, and I'm going to pop it in the chat so you can see it.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Heather.
Yep.
Yeah. So that AI robot that painted that canvas there of the M365 Miami logo was a really fun and engaging idea that Emily and her team ran at the event. It did really capture a lot of buzz. People were constantly going over to the table, which was strategically placed by the sponsors. Smart placement. But people were curious, what's this robot arm doing? And eventually, as it progressed through most of the event that day, got a lot of buzz, but it was definitely a memorable experience that clearly, a year plus later, we remember as attendees.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll jump into the next slide here, and this is post-event content repurposing, right? So you want to do things like, capture event highlights and recap videos, create those short, engaging videos, summarize key moments, speaker insights, attendee experiences, share that on social media, and things like YouTube. Publish deep dive articles, blog posts, session recaps, and thought leadership pieces based on event discussions and trends. I think oftentimes, while speakers, will often maybe recap their experience, especially if it was a really good session for them and it's an opportunity to share the slides, you'll inevitably see people from the community that have attended the event who you may not know that will publish a blog post. There was a recent attendee at the DC event who published a blog post, and she called out the keynote speakers and a few other sessions. And it's just incredible to see the power of community. Someone who was just that inspired that they took their own time to write a blog post about what was happening at your event. So, as the content team, pick that up and reuse that, right? Amplify their message, their buzz and excitement for your event even further. Find creative ways to utilize that. Social media snippets, right? So you want to extract powerful quotes, behind the scenes moments, attendee testimonials, or just ongoing social media engagement. That's great to kind of help build interest for the next year's event as well. On-demand content library, if possible, you could offer recorded sessions, slides, and keynotes as kind of either gated or free resources to extend event value and drive future engagement, really keep people around. So that's another opportunity to share through your channels. And then do things like use email and newsletter features, repurpose that content into email campaigns, right? Drip campaigns, run them over, weeks or months, et cetera. 1 a month post, I think everybody can live with, especially if they've signed up for it. And they'll definitely engage, and it kind of keeps them around for your future events. So another quick tip here from our friend Clippy. Use Copilot to repurpose content for you. And this is a really key one. You can do something like, please draft a blog post summarizing the key takeaways from the keynote session at my event. The keynote covered, so-and-so topics, include a compelling introduction, key insights, speaker quotes, and a call to action, right? Also draft a concise and engaging social media post to promote this blog, highlighting the most compelling insight from the keynote, including a call to action and a link to the blog post. So what I just want to kind of call out with this prompt here is you're getting a 2-for-1, right? Maybe you've attended a session or someone shared, session highlights. You're able to take those key takeaways, put them into this prompt, and now you have the draft of a blog post that you can expand on. And you've got the social media post to share that, linking to your post with the call to action. So you can do things to really get, a lot out of one single prompt to, help you amplify, different pieces of content from your event. So another thing here is multi-platform distribution. I think this is very important. You really want to diversify content formats. Different platforms are prioritizing different types of content. So you really need to adjust accordingly. Mix up your content with blog recaps, short form videos, carousel posts, eye-catching infographics. It's I think we've seen it with, I know personally with LinkedIn, the algorithms that are running behind what's getting amplified through those feeds is ever evolving these days. So you really do need to switch it up and again, see what sticks and what doesn't. cross-promote content on multiple platforms, right? So share event highlights across LinkedIn, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube, whatever relevant forms you might be using. But also make sure you tailor your messaging for each platform accordingly, right? So like for LinkedIn, you want to share professional insights. For X, more of quick takeaways. For Instagram, maybe you've got some great visual snapshots or photos that you took of the event or the keynote. Share those through, the relevant platforms where they make the most sense. Also collaborate with your partners and sponsors for a broader reach, right? Again, just make sure to leverage, their networks to amplify content distribution. And this is something that you can, as you're, organizing your event, discuss with your partners and your sponsors and your speakers for that to, help them best understand what approach might work best here to leverage each other. Okay. Over to you one more time, Heather, but definitely a great resource to take advantage of if you're able to.
Right on. Yeah, so we have a few places. We have the Microsoft Community LinkedIn site, which we just crossed 20,000 members. We started that about a year ago, so not bad for just being around for a year. Comparatively, I'll say I started the Power Platform LinkedIn community area, what was it, 4 years ago, and we're at about 60,000 over there. So not bad growth. I think we're doing okay. We also have the MSFT adoption handle, which is, so these are all properties that we, Microsoft, own and own and operate, O&O as we like to say. And so this community social link is a way for you to help promote your events that are coming up, especially things that are coming up on communitydays.org, other things in the world that are around the Microsoft ecosystem. And they need to be events, not just meetings and no sales, vendors, that kind of stuff. And we look at everything, we approve it and all that jazz. It goes through Mark Cashman on our team. The SLA turnaround is usually about 3 days. And yeah, please use it. And people are like, can I use it more than once? I'm like, yes, you can. Please definitely send things up there that you'd like to get out on those channels, and we're happy to help spread the word as it is. So yeah, so definitely bookmark that and use that frequently. So yeah, it'd be awesome. So cool.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And one more slide here, screenshot alert if you're interested. And the recordings will be shared. Heather will touch on that, I think, at the end here as well. But we've put together an event amplification checklist, and now this is by no means like the exclusive list that's gonna sell your event out, but it definitely helps provide an opportunity to check off each one of these boxes as you go through those 3 phases of your event. Right, to really amplify them and maximize your engagement both through social media, in person, and turn your attendees into advocates as well.
I am always so excited to have an amazing guest speaker like you, Pat, on. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with everybody. And he is very humble. Pat does so many things in the community and such a good event producer and CEO of a company as well. So really, thank you so much for jumping on earlier today and all of that to share with everybody. It's super awesome. So I did put a link in the chat earlier to, if folks are, I think I did. Yeah. If you want to come present a topic on this call, is there something you would like to share about events and how you do things, lessons learned, that kind of stuff? I'm always looking for speakers. So I love to highlight folks. It's a great way to get out here and also practice your speaker skills. We're a very casual group as well. So, you can come and give something a roll, which is nice. What's next for us? We've got our April 15th. And I am looking for a guest speaker. So if you're interested, next month we've got an open guest slot. You can share your feedback here, invite your colleagues to join the MGCI, and then we're going to be up on the tech community as well. Oops, I should take control back and move that slide. How about that? There we go. So that's what's next. So yeah, you can come check it out. And if you want to have more of me talking at you with Caruana Gatimu, who is the leader of MCAG, we have a bi-weekly show up on that Microsoft community on LinkedIn, where we talk every other Monday from 8 to 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And we talk about all the news that's fit to print. And we also put these up, just like we put this up, those also go up on our Microsoft Community YouTube learning channel as well. So you can get all those things on demand. I will have all of this recordings, all that jazz, hopefully up before end of day on Thursday for you all. So yeah, you can share with your other folks as well and bring a friend next time. So yeah, that's our show meeting for today. So how about that? Any last minute questions? We've got about 5 minutes. Yeah, thank you for the claps, everybody. Appreciate that. I'll take the slides down. Cool. Well, thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you all next month. And have a great rest of your week, and talk to you soon. And there's a lot going on in the world, so be nice to yourself. Big community love out to everybody. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Okay. Bye.